everybody. Welcome back to the Rochester Real Estate Show podcast. Jason Mancuso here with the Anthony Butera Team. Joined again, Luis Pichardo. Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We've got kind of a tie in real estate a little bit.
Yeah.
More of a non-real estate related topic today.
Yeah.
Coming off the PGA Championship, the golf that was just held recently here, and just huge successful event for the area.
It was.
National spotlight on Rochester, which is pretty cool for us, right? We're
Yeah.
not, I always describe us, I guess, as like a medium-sized market,
Yeah.
right? So we don't have the professional sports teams hour away from them.
Exactly.
Actually, what was the stat? Oh God, it's something like we're the biggest city without other than like RIT, hockey, and lacrosse, we're the biggest city without a Division I sports program.
Really?
I heard that recently. Fact check me on that, but
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, just an event like that, attention drawn to our market locally here. Obviously, it's near and dear to us, but got us churning on what's top 5 things we love about Rochester.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I got an honorable mention wild card to start.
Okay. Cool. I'm excited for this.
Luis is coming into this. We each came up with a couple, and I'm surprising him on mine. So this will probably be a surprise.
Yeah.
Honorable mention weather.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Right?
Nice. I see that. Okay.
Here's
Okay.
my
Okay.
logic. Like if you just
Okay.
want hot, this ain't the market.
No.
Right?
No.
But I think there's enough value, enough interest for people in the 4 seasons.
Yes.
Right? The change of each season. Like I just can't, like Christmas time, I can't imagine
Yeah.
being on a beach.
Yeah.
Palm trees, I mean, vacation wise, sure, fine. But
Yeah.
like, snow on the ground, there's value to it. You got skiing, snowmobile, and all that sort of stuff.
And to that, the being in Christmas, being on the beach, I've gone through that experience after living in Rochester for, like 7 years. So a little bit about me, born in the Dominican Republic, came to not only did I come to the United States, I came to Rochester from the Dominican Republic. Okay. So
Straight shot.
yeah,
One
straight
way
shot.
ticket.
I landed here in September of the year 2000. That's when I landed here. I was 10 years old, and I just remember being, it was a beautiful. It was beautiful just to see the fall, and which we'll probably get into that in regards to your topic. But immediately shocked by the sunlight. I mean, there was no sun. I kept telling my dad, I'm like, when does the sun come out here?
Right.
you
So
know.
that would be the negative side.
Yeah.
A little gloomy for a lot of the year.
Yep. So then I spent about, I want to say 5-6 years here in the Rochester, just getting acclimated to everything. And most of my family who came to the state of New York, they all started going, to Florida because they couldn't just handle the
Not for
weather.
everybody.
Exactly.
That's why an honorable mention, weather, change of seasons.
Yeah.
The fall, like you mentioned, is just beautiful.
Yeah.
Like wine tour season.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right. Winter, obviously has its downtime in terms of the snow and the cold. But if you're a skier, if you're a winter sports, have that interest.
Yeah.
We're here.
But here was my point. Here's me. I'm from a tropical island, okay, born there. So my first 10 years of my life was in the Dominican Republic, right? Tropical island. Now I'm 5 years into Rochester, experiencing the Christmas time here, all the, the holiday cheer. So I go down to visit my family in Florida for Christmas for the first time. And it was cool, to see the palm trees lit up. Like that was cool.
Right.
But because you went to the beach on Christmas, like that happened to me. I'm in the beach and I'm like, I'm supposed to like this, but I kind of miss the winter coats, the hot cocoa, right? There was an element, there was an element of me that kind of missed that. So it's interesting that you brought that up.
Yeah. Good. Like it's part of why I wanted to have you on for this show is just this your perspective that you're bringing of not being. I mean, you're here when you're 10, so
Right.
essentially native, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, fireplaces in the winter.
Yes.
Right? So then spring, getting into it. Summer here is just,
Yeah.
it gets hot, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's manageable.
It is.
I just couldn't do the Florida thing all year round, where it's like your summer and you can't go outside, right?
I have a client right now, Jason, who's in Arizona.
Yeah, right.
And he said to me, he's looking at houses right now, with I'm showing him the houses, virtually, and that's been an interesting experience. But it's also cool at the same time. And one of the questions I said, why are you you're in Arizona, like why would you move? He's like, I can't be here in the summer. It's too hot.
Right.
It's too
Yeah,
hot.
don't give me that dry heat.
Yeah, so
Bring it on.
it's too hot, and he's like, I need to go back home, for the summers, and then I'll just manage the winters over here.
I think there's underrated value to the four seasons and changing it up a little bit. And also, like, I don't know, this may tell too much about me, but I wouldn't be able to survive if it was just like partying in the summer all year round. Like, I need some hibernation time in the winter, and snuggle by the fireplace,
Yeah.
and then just decompress a little bit
Yeah.
before I get back after. Right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
all right, so that's the honorable mention.
yeah.
So top 5 list. I think I got a decent order here. But
Okay.
We'll see. You tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Like I said, Luis is a little blind here. So number 5, this is a little bit of a tie into real estate.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna call the topic overall like our services and infrastructure.
Yeah.
Okay? Largely related to, like, we all complain about the property taxes that we pay.
Yeah.
And the school taxes that we pay. You kind of get what you pay for,
Yeah.
right?
It's a good value.
Don't get me wrong, all roads and bridges and stuff like that aren't
Yep.
perfect.
Yep.
But you hear about stuff in other markets. We got a lot of good things going on.
Absolutely.
Our school system is great.
Yes.
Just the public service of, fire and police and ambulances and stuff like that. Like, God forbid you need something like that. Like, they're on it.
Yeah.
Like, I had, nothing was major, but I had an experience with an ambulance last year, and like, it was boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Our hospital system, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you do get what you pay for.
Yes. Yes.
And especially hearing differences in other markets, relative to all that. Like, it's given me kind of some new perspective on complaining about property taxes. It's like, you're either, another thing, like water bills in other markets are outrageous compared to our, whatever, $30, $50
Exactly.
a month type of thing. Other people pay hundreds in some markets.
Absolutely.
So there is sort of a wash effect to it.
Insurance costs too.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Property insurance costs is extremely different in other markets.
So just kind of a benefit that we all reap
Yeah.
and don't really, I don't know, perspective's everything. It's not that we're not thinking of it or we're not appreciative or grateful of it, but it's like, it's easy enough to complain about taxes.
Yeah.
And believe me, I'll still complain about taxes.
Absolutely.
But trying to trick your mind a little bit, I guess, to the benefit, right?
Well, yeah, and to that infrastructure point, our traffic, even though we're always under construction, when it's not snowing and freezing, our traffic is decent.
All right, well, that's number 4 on my list.
All right, there you go. There you go.
Segue. You didn't even know.
Exactly.
So this is probably more of a personal thing.
Yeah.
I think people can relate to it. Like, we don't have traffic.
No.
And from, and it's one thing with, I think this is loosening, but like the work from home day and age, different type of thing. But, the majority of the people in the world are in that commutable work life.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
If I'm in some other market where it's like an hour to go 10 miles,
Yeah.
that would drive me absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I get so annoyed if I'm, 590 or 390, 490, whatever, and like you're going 30.
We're so spoiled. Yeah.
We're so spoiled when it comes to that. Like, you can literally, not to get too personal, like I grew up in Victor and I live in Spencerport right now. So fortunate where like my parents are still there. Both houses are right off the expressway.
Okay.
But across the county, right?
Okay.
I'm going 30 miles in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I can get door to door in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
In 30 miles. You tell other people, that's the way I relate to it too.
Yeah.
Like, you tell other people in different markets, like, we go 30 miles in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They're like,
They can't believe us. Yeah.
it's impossible
Exactly.
without traffic. It
Absolutely. And before this podcast and you know and some of my the things that I'm going to bring up, I wanted to get other people's perspective as well, because I have past clients and I have really good friends too that were in other markets, major markets like Florida, New York, and even New York City, same state, but like kind of the, you know, New York City, and they ended up moving back to Rochester. So I wanted to get their perspective. And one of the things that one of my good friends told me was, listen, I went from like the traffic delay. That was, I mean, that changed his life. It really did. You know, you're spending every day that you work. I mean, you're spending, 2 hours in the car, at minimum. And then sometimes they always say, well, take the train, take the train. Well, there's also something called train delays, he said. So it's not like the train's going and nothing ever happens to the train.
Okay, so here's some math. 2 hours a day, which is an hour back and forth.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Yep.
Is not an unreasonable commute.
Yep.
5 days a week, 10 hours a week.
Yep.
Say, let's just say 48 weeks a year. You got vacation time. 480 hours a year. 20 days a year just sitting in traffic.
20 days a year
20
sitting
days
in
a year
traffic.
sitting in traffic.
What can you do with those 20 days? And the way that he posted to me was, listen, if you're single and you just want to have like amazing experiences and you want to be surrounded by, they call New York City the world on an island, right? Sure. You want to be surrounded by all these different cultures, and you have that curiosity to you. Or maybe you're with a partner and like both of you are interested in something like that, to have those experiences and to be, like every date night be something extravagant, and it doesn't really cost much because, there's just so much of it, right? You can be happy, with those commutes because you're getting it back in these extraordinary experiences. But he said, he had his first daughter, and they were over there. And he says, if your family, like if you're, if you want to have a family, like that's when it changes, right? Like Rochester is amazing for people who, one day want to have a family, right? Or in the works of that, or
That makes a lot of sense.
or maybe you don't want to have kids, but you want to be surrounded by your family members, and there's family activities you can get to, like Jason just said, you can get across town. Everything is 20 to 30 minutes at most.
You can get to Buffalo in an hour.
Yeah.
Hour and a half,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
2 hours on game day.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, you're in New York City and you're trying to go to Giant Stadium or whatever it is, MetLife Stadium.
Yeah.
It's like, probably got to give yourself 3 hours.
You know what he said to me?
5 miles.
It's funny you bring that up. He said to me, he goes, for me to go to the Red Wings game, it takes me 20 minutes, right? From home to the Red Wings games. For me to go to Yankee Stadium, it would take me 20 minutes from the stadium to my car.
Right.
Like,
and
yeah, it's the Yankees versus the Red Wings,
Sure.
but the experience takes so much more out of you, right?
Well, and I think, it's a good perspective in terms of like big cities, right?
Yeah.
It's a commitment to living like an experiential type life.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely, right.
I think, for a lot of people, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who live in Manhattan or New York City with families, obviously.
Absolutely.
But like, I would bet that most don't know anything different.
Yep.
Or there's just an extreme financial tie to it. Right?
Yep.
Because when you have a taste of like, and we're biased, right? Like how we live and what we can do, there's a difference.
Absolutely.
So it's nothing wrong with it, but like the traffic thing is just, I'm a stickler for it, and it drives me nuts. Like traveling to other cities, it's almost like getting me out of here because of it. Right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
no, that's cool. And even like, to reiterate how good we have it, like Buffalo right down the road,
Yeah.
totally different story. They have traffic.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, big time. Not New York City traffic, but not like we literally just don't have it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Like
Would
very
you?
rarely, like there's an accident and you're backed up.
Yeah.
Sure.
Would you say that that is a credit to our design, like our engineering, and architectural design
I
of
think
roads?
there's a population difference. I think there's just a different economy type
Okay.
stuff too.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking of Buffalo, so I've spent some time there. I lived there for a year and a half or so.
Yeah.
They have a similar type, with the expressway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Third reason why Rochester is a desirable market.
All right.
Events. Culture.
Yes.
Is one you want to
Yes. Yes.
talk to me. What are you thinking? And
Yes.
You mentioned like Red Wings.
Yes.
Again, we don't have the professional sports team, but you want an affordable, easy in and out. You got the Red Wings, you got the Hammers, we got the lacrosse, Nighthawks,
Yeah.
soccer still.
Yeah.
We got
The Rhinos.
We
Yeah.
got events.
Yeah.
In terms of sports.
Yes.
Not professional level. Most
Yep.
of the time.
You also have all these different activities that you can do, right? When you live in the Rochester market. Another friend, he moved back from Florida, and one of the things he does in the winter time, he goes to Bristol Mountain all the time. He loves it. He loves it. So that's one of the activities that if you're in the Rochester market, probably about an hour away, from you, and you have, that activity. There's also hunting, fishing, trails, hunting. Obviously, there's different seasons, where you can, when you're available to hunt. Fishing. I think that there's also I have friends who do ice fishing. It's that
So playing into the four seasons.
exactly,
Right?
exactly.
Just like the outdoor life, you get it all.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you may not, you obviously can't do summer things all year around here, but
yep,
I mean, you can get all the worlds.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then what's really we don't really appreciate a lot, like we have a lot of festivals here, and they're really good, and they attract people from all over. So we just had the Lilac Festival. The Jazz Festival is also coming up in June. Again, a lot of community.
That's a global attraction.
Yes, yes, yes. A lot of community culture events, festivals that are available to us, and I think they make really Rochester, right? They're part of what Rochester is. And
Lilac Festival every May for, I don't even know how long they've been doing it.
exactly.
2 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
Staple.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them that are just staples throughout the summertime, especially.
Yeah.
That Jazz Fest is big.
Yeah.
Really big. Like
Yeah.
From a economic impact and okay, maybe not a ton of global, but like there's global acts that come and certainly a national level of interest.
Yeah.
And that's a huge event.
And another one that is I'm seeing more and more of it because I pass by it all the time. This Kodak Theater here on Westridge Road, like I keep seeing like bigger and bigger names. And they have, what's cool is you pass by there and they'll have like who's coming, like what event is coming up next. And, they have all sorts of performers coming down. And kudos to whoever who had that idea at that spot, because I don't think that was really being used to the full potential. Right. So very, that's definitely on me and my wife's bucket list for a date night.
I think the music scene in general,
Yeah.
as a topic, is pretty. Don't get me wrong, we're not like New Orleans or Austin, Texas, or
Yeah.
Memphis or anything
Yeah.
like that, right? Like with that niche type vibe. But
Right.
we've got like good entertainment.
Absolutely.
Right? Because like you mentioned Kodak. CMAC is huge. Talk
Yeah.
about big acts.
Yeah.
Right? There's little stuff that pops up too. There's this place, it's I wanna say Bloomfield, Canandaigua area, Bloomfield. I
Okay.
forget what the heck it's called, but they're, newer music venue act. I think it kind of spawned off of a brewery that's newer.
Okay.
Which is another topic, just in terms of like, the winery and the brewery.
Right,
type
right.
That's big around here, but they're like starting to get some decent acts too coming there, brand new.
Yeah.
There's big shows that happen at
Yeah.
I would say War Memorial, Blue Cross Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think with social media, it's
Right.
it's helped a city like us, right? Where we have so much beauty. Like we're very close to the Finger Lake. I mean, we're in the Finger Lakes region
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So, an hour away, you're in these beautiful, just, trails, mountains. There's a whole boating scene up here, you jet skis, water skiing. That's all available. Watkins Glen's State Park. I mean, that is just absolutely, yep, Letchworth. Beautiful nature, like, trails where I'm not huge into it,
Sure.
but I'm still like, every time I walk the trails, I'm like, this is absolutely gorgeous.
Well, and
And we're so close to it.
yeah, and I'm the same way too, and it's almost like conversations like this. It's like, man, yeah, get off my ass and get,
Take advantage, right.
Take advantage.
Take
of it.
advantage of it.
Because, we get in our bubbles type of thing, and like we have just a huge
Yeah,
arena to play in.
yeah, we do.
Golf courses, like
We
there's
do.
some stat like we're the per capita we have like the most golf courses
I believe
in the world or
it.
something like that. There's just so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, there's stuff that we haven't even. I think we're skipping.
This is just scratching the surface.
Too,
Yeah,
I mean, and then maybe not pertaining to Rochester, but
Yeah.
you're, an hour away from Buffalo, 3 hours away from Toronto,
yeah,
6-hour drive to New York City, 4
Listen.
or 5 hours to Pittsburgh and
Yeah.
Philadelphia,
yeah,
Adirondacks,
yeah,
Thousand Islands.
yeah.
Like you go on and on. And
Yeah.
on. Like there's just
It truly.
biased, but
Yeah, absolutely, we're biased, but it really is a good spot to live. And what's cool about it is, like I said, I come from a tropical island, so in the winters I struggle with, the amount of sunlight, right, that we get.
sure.
So that would be a downside, and I know we're not talking about downsides here, but I do, as I've, as I'm getting older, I do appreciate being here more and more.
Sure. Cool.
Because of the infrastructure, because of like you just said, we're so close to many different things. The healthcare is good. I don't have to deal with traffic, and it's a good family town, really, in general.
Yeah, let's get into the one we're passionate about. Two on the list.
Yes. The food scene in Rochester, man, this is really, really, really a like, I think this is number one, for a lot of people in Rochester. And talking with my buddy, so he's very passionate about this too, and he has he has a whole Instagram page just on him checking out the food scene here in
cool.
Rochester.
Love
He is like really, really into that space, and not only have we had good food for a long time, and we have staples like obviously the garbage plate and Swigels, but the food scene, because of social media and all these other factors, that has kind of motivated a lot of these younger cooks to be more innovative. During COVID, there was a lot of pop-up things that came up and that are delicious and great. But let's I kind of did categorize a couple of things, with the food scene. So I'm going to start with pizza. And there are 3 spots right now that were, me and my buddy said, okay, they need to be mentioned. So let's start off with like when we're having a party, we'll always order pizza, and that's more of a Rochester style pizza, with wings.
Thicker crust.
Right, thicker crust, your Salvatore's, your Pudgy's Pizza, your Mark's Pizzeria.
All local companies is just huge.
Exactly.
Franchise type basis
Exactly.
locally, right?
And lately, I don't know, me and my wife, we've been like on a Carbones kick.
Okay.
Have you ever had Carbones?
Love it. Yeah.
Oh my God. So again, that's more of a Rochester style, and you get, obviously the buffalo wings or the country sweet wings.
Yep.
That's all great for parties.
Just wings in general, playing off of Buffalo, obviously that's the home of it, right? But
Exactly.
right down the road, we got great wings.
Exactly.
The other regions of the country, they don't. It's breaded stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, it's good.
It's good, but we're spoiled.
Yeah.
We're spoiled.
Yeah.
All right. He said, check out. He's like, there's a spot called Peels on Wheels.
Dude, so I'm glad you brought it up. I've heard of it. It looks amazing. I've heard amazing things about it. I need to check it out.
So he's the owner is from the Bronx. His name is Luis Perez. He's from the Bronx, and he has this twist with specialty pizzas and like fresh ingredients. He's like definitely a spot you need to check out if you're in the Rochester area. Check him out. I've heard good things. Then this is the other one is called Pizza Spot on State Street.
Yeah.
Again, from Brooklyn to Rochester, from dad to son. And one of the things with our local food scene too is, it's very local, very local, and it's good for us to go out and, support these local businesses. They're making great food, delicious, they're local, and we're just helping our economy.
Absolutely. And to the point, I hate saying it, I guess, but you should not be eating at a chain restaurant.
Right.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, convenience.
Exactly.
If you're going out and spending your hard-earned money on dinner, date night, whatever.
Let's spend it,
Do it the right way.
exactly.
Because there's plenty of good options.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
And all cuisine,
All across the board.
All genres of food, whatever you want to call it.
All across the board, I agree.
Local, mainstay.
I agree. Obviously, this category is kind of, my style. So we're gonna go Spanish food. So, if you want to sit down in a restaurant, like on the Mexican food side, you could do Rancho Viejo. They're right here in Gates. They're actually really good, and their pricing is really good too. So definitely check that place out. Monte Alban. That was actually my first job here in Rochester.
Okay.
So again, bias, but I know the owner.
They got a few locations.
Yeah, they have a few locations, and they're actually they're not a chain. They're a family from Atlanta, and they have multiple restaurants in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area. So it's funny, you know how they got to Rochester? He said to me, we read an article on the newspaper. It said Rochester was one of the top growing cities, and we said, well, let's go check that place out. They came up, they checked it out, they loved it, and that's how they started, opening up restaurants here. If you're on, so Puerto Rican, check out Casa de Campo by East High School. That's a good spot, legit. And for those like Puerto Rican, Dominican food, pretty close. If you're probably not going to notice the difference, but if you're from Puerto Rico and then if you have someone else that's from the Dominican Republic, they're going to notice little hints here,
Well, we were
here
talking
and there.
about this recently, just in terms of the light bulb went off.
Yeah.
I've tried different spots and Dominican food and Puerto Rican food, and I love it.
Yeah.
But at a restaurant, I'm like tacos and quesadillas and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably an Americanization of it
Yeah,
too, but
yeah.
they're not doing that.
Yeah.
It's rice and beans and your meat
Yeah,
and your
yeah.
whatever stews they got
Right.
and stuff like that.
We're going to get to I got a taco section, okay? So the taco section is completely separate. Taco section is completely separate. But the Spanish food side, and again, these restaurants you can walk in, sit down, and eat. On the Dominican side, check out De Mangu, right off of Portland. Condado Bar and Grill, too, is very good. That's it's either off of Clifford or Goodman, one of those two. I apologize, I don't remember off the top of my head. But these are some takeout spots that are really good. El Latino is it's a good, right off of Chili Avenue. That's a good takeout spot. And this is a new one right off of Westridge Road. It's 809 takeout spot. Those are really good. And Tacos. Okay. Tacos, my buddy said, and these, again, these kind of grew out of the whole COVID pop up,
Sure.
but they're really, really good. Pura Vida. You can literally follow them on Instagram if you like. It's Pura Vida Rock. Again, these are birria tacos. Oh my goodness, delicious. And then there's also Tacodero. Again, you can also follow him on Instagram as well, and he does the pop up thing too. And you have to kind of like order it ahead of time, then get there and then pick it up.
Gotcha.
But my buddy's like, dude, they're worth it for sure. He goes, there's also, and he took me to this spot, and I have to say, this, if you like fried chicken, I mean, you have to check this spot out. It's called Chicken Out. Have you heard of it?
Heard of it, I haven't been there.
Whew, let me tell you, very, very good. Yeah, very, very good. They were also voted best fish fry.
That's right.
They were voted best fish fry as well.
Well, and that's a topic in itself, fish fries.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's, it's elsewhere, fish and chips and whatnot, but very localized
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So,
And the owners, Adam and Dave, really awesome. They really try to create the best experience possible. They do have, so they were pop up. They were doing the whole pop up thing during COVID. They would sell out in minutes. Now they have a location. I think it's near downtown.
Okay.
But definitely check them out. Chicken Out. And obviously we have also, and I think you can go and kind of back me up on this, but we also have the whole Italian bakery scene where it's like they have all the pastas, all the salads. You have Stromboli Express, you have Rubino's, Calabrasella.
a whole episode on Rubino's.
I
I
swear,
always say it's my favorite retail establishment.
listen,
Like, I just go there and check. That's where I go check. Is Rubino's. Give me some sausage, give me some meat, give me some of the salad and the thing, and olives or whatever, and they got everything.
Jason, I swear, if they're ever looking for like an actor that can speak Spanish but also act Italian, like I can sign up for that role because the Italian, the food scene here is also amazing, and
So Rubino subs.
Yeah.
I'll stand by. That's my go-to.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Subs in general.
Yeah.
I mean it's called something different even within Rochester, different markets, and grinders, and all sorts of stuff, right? But I think because of the Italian food scene, Calabrese, like you mentioned, just different spots where they're spot on.
yeah,
And then the sit-down Italian scene. Pick your poison, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like, anywhere you go, you're not going to really see.
Yeah.
And, it almost gets, heated debate. Like, I love, hopping in on these, just seeing who's saying what on, what do you call it, Facebook groups of,
Yeah.
get a chicken French is a localized.
Listen,
right?
listen.
Talking about that, right?
I just for the first time I tried the artichoke French
Right.
and Bella Pasta. Whoo, you want to talk about?
Pasta on Ridgeway is legit.
Oh my goodness!
That's
I mean,
the way it goes. Supposed to, little place in a shopping, big place,
Yeah.
shopping center.
yeah,
Right, but especially there's a west side of town type of aspect to it where
Absolutely.
our office is right here and I live here and it's
Yeah.
just it's like the Italian bread capital of the world. It's Giuseppe's and Savastano's and
Yeah.
Marticello since closed. Actually, the building just went up for sale by a KW agent.
Yeah.
But it between the takeout subs, a lot of these places do pizza.
Yeah.
That too. In
Yes.
addition to just being full service Italian restaurant.
Absolutely.
And then you got upscale places like Tony D's. Like that'll be one of the best meals you'll have.
yeah,
I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Right. And there's just so much fine dining on top of it too.
Yeah.
That we haven't touched on, but a lot of Italian driven stuff. Yeah.
absolutely. And again, we're just scratching the surface here.
Well,
We're
and the Italian topic. I mean, this came out I think last week on social media. I forget what the source was, but it was something. What was it? Something like for the United States, Rochester has the 9th, I think it was, most Italian population in the country, which makes sense because I was actually talking to my dad about it this weekend. I can make sense of it because like my grandparents, you know, at least my grandmother off the boat, and then, you know, Ellis Island,
Yeah.
they already had shop set up in
Yeah.
Rochester, so to speak, right? And I think, you know, like New York City, obviously huge Italian population, huge just, you know, immigrant population.
Absolutely.
In general, right?
Yeah.
But New York City's not for everybody, as we just discussed.
Exactly.
Imagine 1920, right? Like, ooh, this is a little much. We get a few hours away and settle in somewhere else, and that's just how it went. And like, in comparison to, say, Buffalo and Syracuse nearby, like Buffalo has a big Polish population,
Yeah.
Irish population.
Yep.
Not that Italians aren't welcome or anything like that, right? They do as well. And then Syracuse, I don't know. Here's my assumption.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Syracuse always been a university town.
Yeah, and they have a university and hospital.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like people that settled there, grew up there, raised their families there, probably some sort of tie that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, versus Rochester, like, yeah, you know, and I'm speaking from the heart, being Italian, part Italian.
Absolutely.
So like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to Buffalo. All our family's in Rochester. Whatever, smart people in Syracuse, whatever you want to call it, right? Because Utica, nearby Syracuse, big Italian population too.
Really?
So it's just, you know, not in a smaller city, but like it makes sense that we're on that list.
Yeah.
When you may not think it.
Yeah.
Anyway, rambling.
Based on our restaurants,
Right.
yes,
Yeah, right.
we're on that list.
Yeah, right. So we can talk about food all day long.
I know. This is
Anything else on food?
just a last thing,
Yeah,
and this is an event coming up. I'm not sure if when this episode will drop, but there is this is a guy called Leon's Smash Burgers, and he's actually doing a collab with Ridge Donuts.
Ooh.
And definitely a guy you want to follow on Instagram. And they put like the flyer up for this day. They're going to do a collab with Rich Donuts. So it's going to be Smash Burgers and Rich Donuts. He also does like this garbage plate. And the flyer, the name of this event, it's called the Ultimate Cheat Day.
Right.
So that's
I love the smash burger.
I thought that's pretty cool, Jason, because, you know, it seems to me like new innovation, new innovation, new way to be able to reach
Collaboration.
collaboration with others, to be able to, you know, and on the entrepreneurial side of things, it's really cool that I'm looking at, you know, a cook that's saying, hey, let's work together, you know, let's use social media. And I think it helps the consumer. It helps them as a business. It helps our culture. It helps, you know, us coming together as a community. And, you know, food brings everyone together, right?
Well, it's a topic, right?
Yeah.
With the, you know, this whole show stemmed really off of the success of the PGA Championship.
Right.
All you saw, you know, if they were doing the cutaways and the special, you know, 5-minute clip thing.
Yeah.
It's not the garbage plate.
Right. I know.
Right?
I know.
We haven't talked about it too much, but, you know, that thing is just, fortunately or unfortunately, an institution here in Rochester.
Yes.
It's almost comical. But
Yes.
It's, you know, it's one of these things that's like, you know, you always, you're proud and embarrassed of it, I guess. I don't know. Is that fair to say?
So it's interesting when
Having to explain it to an outsider.
Yes.
You eat this?
Yes.
Yeah. You know,
It sounds disgusting.
you know, a little 6 sheets of wood or whatever, but, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then arguing who has the best garbage plate. It's like, come on. But there's definitely, you know, there definitely some spots that are very good.
But you know what it is staying on the garbage plate, wrapping the food that I pick up. Meat hot sauce.
Yeah.
Is like, you know, a lot of places it's just chili,
Yeah.
right? Our meat hot sauce, man. There's
Listen,
something to be said for that.
let me tell you something. You're not in a real garbage plate spot if they're not yelling at the cook like what you just ordered.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Exactly.
like you're not
true.
like if there's a ticket printing in the back and there's a computer and someone's reading it and like no one's saying anything, like you're not in the right spot.
Exactly.
You got
We'll get
it.
your garbage
It's like
paid.
it's like if someone looks you in the face and it's like, listen, we don't take credit cards here. It's only cash. And they're yelling at the grill at the guy at the grill. Like you're in the right spot. Just trust me on
I
that.
love that. I love that insight. All right, real quick, we'll go number one, and this will be a real estate tie.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
But I'm gonna go affordability.
Yes.
Okay. From the standpoint of your home, whether you're renting or buying,
Yeah.
owning. I mean, just, rents have risen, house prices have risen here.
Yeah.
But we're significantly under the national average.
Yes.
I mean, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars under the national average to the tune of, 200, 225, here locally, to near 400,
Yes.
on average.
Yes.
And even, like, I was reading something yesterday, actually, these lists, like, this topic kind of also stems from, I forget what the specific headline is, but we're either number one or close to it of, like, just best places to live on somebody's list.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, sorry for the lack of context, but other places on those lists are like, like I was reading, there's a lot of them in the Northeast, a lot of them, like, surrounding Boston, like, New Hampshire, Vermont or Massachusetts, still having an affordable price point at 500,000 compared to 1.2 million in Boston or whatever, or 900,000 in Boston, right?
Yes.
We're just, you got that sort of budget in Rochester, you pick of the litter.
Exactly.
Well, you can, literally buy a $100,000 home in Rochester.
Yeah.
That's not falling over.
Yeah.
Where are you going in the world is in most cases where you can have that happen. So real estate pricing, obviously, okay, we are in the real estate business, there's a tie-in. But, I mean, just everything else too, right? I mean, I think, just date night is going to be less expensive in Rochester than New York City, period.
And my buddy who, I helped him buy his house in Irondequoit, and he told me, he goes, I went from a basement apartment in New York City, basement apartment, exactly, and now I have a ranch in Irondequoit, and it's funny, his yard, we play volleyball in his yard.
There you go.
Dude, it's huge. It's very long. And he's like, I have a football field of a backyard. I have 3 bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms. And he goes, guess what? My mortgage is way less than what I was paying in rent in New York City. So when you have those experiences and when you have people who are not from Rochester and they're looking at the Rochester market, they're looking at our Rochester market like, whoa, this is such a great opportunity. While us being locals, and trust me, I went through this when I bought my house. I did not want to pay, right? I was like, what? You want this? But when you look at, nationally what's happening, we can really now appreciate like our market, even though we have, competitive situations now where, our inventory levels are still not really fully supplying the demand. And it's just something to appreciate.
Well, and if Rochester's home,
Yes.
I guess here's the real estate tie-in, right? If Rochester's home for you, and you see it being home for you for the long term,
Yeah.
and you're out there looking and dealing with the frustrations that are in this market, and I'm not here to say that you shouldn't be frustrated or there's not any frustration or stress, but if you're buying something, not necessarily permanent, but if it's a long-term play, perspective goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Right? Because,
Absolutely.
I can tell you a couple things. One, like, started about 2018 where we were playing this crystal ball game of like, okay, when's this going to stop? And you wouldn't be happy if you haven't bought a home since 2018
Yes.
and you had the opportunity to do so.
Absolutely.
Right? And the same thing kind of goes moving forward. Is I don't want to get into it. I really don't think we're in a bubble that's popping.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't get me wrong. Markets will fluctuate.
Yeah.
Right. But I really don't think sky will fall here, and like the $200,000 price point is going to go back down to 140 where it was.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either.
And again, fluctuations will occur.
Absolutely.
So if it's a short-term play, a couple of years, like generally speaking, don't buy a home no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what the market is.
Exactly.
That's generally the advice.
Yeah.
But if you're, There's a chart that we've looked at as agents, from a training standpoint recently, that there's never been a 10-year run in U.S. history.
When you showed me that shot,
Lost home value.
yeah, when you showed me that chart, I'm like, wow.
Even at the peak before the mess in 07,
Yeah.
the peak of 06 to 2016, and that's where it went,
Mm-hmm.
down big, 07, 08, 09.
Mm-hmm.
And then came back up in 2016. You're pretty much even.
Yeah,
At that point, you got equity from paying down the loan.
exactly.
So, it's frustrating out there, but at the end of the day, perspective goes a long way to understand we're still in an incredibly affordable market from the standpoint of housing and just entertainment and food and,
Absolutely.
logistically, that sort of stuff too.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, man.
I'm
I love
moving to
Rochester.
Rochester. I love it. Good stuff. Luis Pichardo here with us more.
Yes,
As
absolutely.
always, will be.
Yes.
And Jason Mancuso here as always, Anthony Butera Team. Check us out at anthonybuterateam.com. You can see any of these podcasts and other great information as well. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you.